Assalamualaikum and good day students. Welcome to lecture 8 of MLT 529 Clinical Laboratory Management. Today we are diving into a critical topic that every future laboratory professional must understand: the laboratory economics. As healthcare professionals, you might wonder why we need to discuss economics and financial management. The reality is that modern healthcare operates in an increasingly complex financial environment. Laboratories are not just centers of scientific excellence, they are also business units that must operate efficiently, sustainably, and profitably while maintaining the highest standards of patient care. Today's lecture will equip you with the essential knowledge to understand budgeting, feasibility analysis, and risk management, skills that will make you more valuable as laboratory professionals and prepare you for leadership roles. Learning outcomes. By the end of this lecture, you should be able to distinguish between operational and capital budgets in laboratory settings, understanding when and how each type of budget is used. Number 2, prepare basic operational and capital budget proposals, giving you practical skills for real-world applications. Number 3, conduct feasibility studies for laboratory equipment and services, helping you evaluate whether new investments make sense. Number 4, identify and analyze financial risks in the laboratory operations, protecting your laboratory from potential threats. Apply economics principle to optimize laboratory resource allocation, ensuring maximum efficiency with available resources. These competencies are not just academic exercise, they are essential skills that laboratory managers use daily to ensure their facilities provide excellent patient care while remaining financially viable. Introduction. Laboratory economics integrates financial management principles into clinical and diagnostic laboratory operations. It's the bridge between the scientific excellence we strive for and the business realities we must navigate. Why is this integration so crucial? Healthcare systems worldwide face mounting pressures. Aging populations requiring more diagnostic services, technological advances that offer better but often more expensive solutions, and healthcare reimbursement systems that are becoming increasingly complex and, in many cases, offering reduced payments for services. In this environment, laboratories must ensure sustainability, efficiency, and quality while navigating healthcare's evolving landscape. This includes dealing with reimbursement cuts, adapting to technological advancements, and meeting ever-increasing regulatory requirements. As future laboratory managers, your competency must include budget stewardship, risk mitigation, and strategic investment planning. You need to think like both scientists and business professionals. Operational budget. An operational budget is a detailed financial plan that outlines the day-to-day expenses required to run a laboratory over a specific period, typically one fiscal year. Think of it as your laboratory financial roadmap for routine operations. It represents the recurring costs necessary to maintain laboratory services and operations. But why is operational budgeting so crucial for laboratories? Let me explain 5 key reasons. First, it ensures adequate funding for continuous patient care. Without proper budgeting, you might find yourself unable to purchase essential reagents or maintain critical equipment, directly impacting patient services. Second, it facilitates cost control and resource optimization. By tracking where every ringgit goes, you can identify areas of waste and opportunities for improvements. Third, it supports strategic planning and decision making. A well-planned budget helps you anticipate needs and make informed decisions about resource allocations. Fourth, it meets regulatory and accreditation requirements. Many accreditation bodies require evidence of financial planning and oversight. Finally, it enables performance, monitoring, and accountability. Your budget becomes a benchmark against which you can measure your laboratory's financial performance. Key components of laboratory operational budget. Now, let's break down the operational budget into its key components. Understanding these categories will help you prepare comprehensive budgets for your future laboratories. Number 1, personnel costs. 60 to 70% of total budget. Personnel costs typically represents the largest portion of any laboratory budget, usually accounting for 60 to 70% of total expenses. This includes several subcategories. Salaries and wages for medical technologists, laboratory assistants, and supervisors form the core of personnel costs. Benefits include EPF contribution, SOCSO, and insurance premiums. These are often overlooked by new managers but represent significant costs. Overtime and shift allowances are necessary for 24 hours laboratory operations, especially in hospital settings. Training and professional development investments are crucial for maintaining competency and meeting continuing education requirements. Let me give you a practical example for a medium-sized hospital laboratory in Kuala Lumpur with 15 staff members. 3 senior MLTs at 4,500 per month each, so equals to 160,000 per year. 8 medical technologists at 3,200 per month each, total 307 and 200 per year. 4 laboratory assistants at 2,000 per month each, total 96,000 per year. So total personnel costs will be 565 and 200 per year before benefits. When you add benefits, which typically add 20 to 30% to base salaries, you are looking at over 700,000 annually just for personnel. Number 2, consumables and reagents, 15 to 25% of budget. This category includes all the materials consumed during testing. Reagent for chemistry, hematology, microbiology, and immunology testing represents the bulk of consumable costs. This must be carefully managed as they have expiration date and specific storage requirements. Disposals such as pipette tips, tubes, slides, and culture media are essential for daily operations but can add up quickly if not properly controlled. Quality controls materials are mandatory for ensuring that accuracy and meeting regulatory requirements. Calibration and standards are necessary for maintaining instrument performance and ensuring accurate results. Number 3, utilities and maintenance accounts for 8 to 12% of budget. Laboratory operations require significant infrastructure support. Electricity, water, and gas supplies are essential for laboratory operations. Laboratories often have higher utility costs than other hospital departments due to specialized equipment requirements. Equipment maintenance contracts ensures your analyzers and instruments operate reliably. Preventive maintenance is much more cost-effective than emergency repairs. Facility maintenance and cleaning include specialized laboratory cleaning services and maintenance of specialized ventilation system. Waste disposal, including biohazardous waste management, is both a regulatory requirement and a significant ongoing cost. Number 4, administrative expenses, 3 to 8% of budget. These often overlooked costs include laboratory information system subscriptions for managing test orders, results, and quality control data, telecommunications for connectivity between laboratory instruments, hospital information systems, and external reference laboratories, office supplies and stationery for documentation, reporting, and administrative functions, professional memberships and subscriptions for staying current with industry standards and best practices. Operational budget development and control. Now that we understand the components, let's discuss how to develop and control an operational budget. This is a systemic process that requires careful planning and ongoing monitoring. The 4-step development process. Step 1. Historical analysis. Begin by reviewing past expenses to identify trends and analyze cost drivers. Look for pattern. Do certain months have higher reagent costs? Are there seasonal variations in test volume? This historical data becomes the foundation for your projections. Step 2. Volume forecasting. Project test volumes based on historical trends, demographic changes, and new services. Consider factors like population aging, new physician specialties joining the hospital, or planning marketing initiative that might increase test volumes. Number 3, cost estimation. Calculate both variable and fixed costs, accounting for inflation and potential efficiency improvements. Variable costs change with test volume, while fixed costs remain relatively constant regardless of activity level. Number 4, budget compilation and review. Prepare the detailed budget, conduct variance analysis against previous years, and seek approval from hospital administration. This step often involves negotiations and justifications for proposed expenditures. Budget monitoring and control. Creating a budget is only the beginning. Effective monitoring and control are essential for success. Let me share some key performance indicators that you should track. Personnel costs as a percentage of revenue should target 60 to 70%. If this percentage is consistently higher, you may need to review staffing levels or improve productivity. Reagent cost per test should stay within ±5% of budget. Significant variances may indicate waste, improper inventory management, or changes in test mix. Monthly variance should be within ±10%. Larger variances trigger the need for corrective measures and investigation. Overtime as a percentage of regular hours should be less than 15%. Excessive overtime may indicate understaffing or poor workload distribution. When these indicators fall outside target ranges, specific actions are required. For example, if personnel costs are too high, review staffing levels. If reagent costs per test are elevated, investigate usage patterns. Monthly variances require implementation of corrective measures, and excessive overtimes call for evaluation of workload distribution. Capital budget. Now let's shift our focus to capital budgeting, which deal with major investments and long-term financial planning. A capital budget is a financial plan for acquiring, upgrading, or replacing major laboratory assets that have a useful life of more than 1 year and exceed a predetermined monetary threshold. In Malaysians healthcare settings, this threshold is typically between 5,000 to 10,000 ringgit. Capital expenditures have several key characteristics that distinguish them from operational expenses. Long-term investment horizon, typically spanning 3 to 15 years, meaning these decisions will impact your laboratory for many years. Significant financial commitment that often requires special approval processes and may affect the organization's borrowing capacities. Strategic impact on laboratory capabilities. Capital investment often determine what services you can offer and how efficiently you can deliver them. Depreciation over the asset's useful life means the cost is spread over multiple years for accounting purposes. Requires comprehensive justification, including clinical need, financial analysis, and strategic alignment. type of capital investment in laboratories. Let me walk you through the main categories of capital investments you'll encounter. Number 1, equipment and instrumentation. This is typically the largest category of capital investments for laboratories. Analyzers for chemistry, hematology, coagulation, and immunoassay represents major investments that can range from hundreds and thousands to millions of ringgit. Microscopy systems, including digital pathology and fluorescence microscopes, are essential for morphological examination. Molecular diagnostic equipment such as PCR system and sequencers represents the future of laboratory medicines. Safety equipment, including biosafety cabinets and fume hoods, are essential for protecting laboratory workers. Let me give you a practical example. An automated chemistry analyzer's purchase might involve equipment costs for about 350,000 ringgit, installation and training 25,000 ringgit, annual maintenance 35,000 ringgit, expected life 10 years. So total investment consideration for these analyzers 725,000 over its lifetime. Number 2, infrastructures and facilities. Major facility improvement often requires significant capital investment. Laboratory renovations and expansions to accommodate new equipment or comply with updated regulations. HVAC system and specialized ventilation to maintain proper environmental conditions for sensitive testing. Emergency power systems to ensure continuous operation during power outage. Information technology infrastructure, including servers, network equipment, and cybersecurity system. Number 3, technology system. Modern laboratories depends heavily on sophisticated technology system. Laboratory Information Management System or LIMS that integrate with hospital information system and provide comprehensive test management. Middleware and connectivity solutions that enable communications between different instruments and systems. Data storage and backup system to ensure data integrity and regulatory compliance. Cybersecurity infrastructure to protect sensitive patient information and maintain system availability. Capital budget evaluation methods. When evaluating capital investments, we use several financial analysis methods to determine whether a project is worth pursuing. Let me explain these 3 fundamental approaches. Net present value, NPV. Net present value measures the overall value of a project, often considering future saving and cost over time. It accounts for the time value of money, the principle that money available today is worth more than the same amount in the future. If NPV is positive, the project adds value and is worthy investing in. If NPV is negative, the project represents a loss and should be avoided. Let me provide 2 examples to illustrate this concept. Example of positive NPV or viable investment. A laboratory buys an automated analyzers for 375,000 ringgit. It saves 80,000 ringgit per year for 10 years through reduced labor costs and improved efficiency. After calculation, NPV is 161 and 800 ringgit, which is positive. So this is a good investment. Example of negative NPV, not viable. A laboratory buys a specialized machine for 200,000 ringgit. It saves only 20,000 ringgit per year for 10 years. After calculation, NPV is minus 77 and 100 ringgit. Or negative. So the decision is not worth it. Number 2, return on investment or ROI. ROI shows how many profit is made from the investment, expressed as a percentage. The higher the ROI, the better the investment opportunity. For example, if a machine generates more saving than its cost, the ROI will be high. and attractive to management. Number 3, the payback period tells you how many years it takes to recover the money spent. A shorter payback period means lower risk and quicker return. For example, a machine costing 300,000 ringgit that save 100,000 ringgit per year will be paid back in 3 years. So generally, shorter payback periods are preferred as they reduce risk. Capital budget prioritization matrix. When you have multiple capital investment requests but limited funds, you need a systematic approach to prioritization. Here's a practical framework. The prioritization matrix uses weightage criteria to evaluate projects. Patient safety, 25% weight, critical for safety, which is high priority. Regulatory compliance, 20% weight, mandatory requirement, high priority. Cost effective, 20% weight, high ROI, more than 50%, high priority. Strategic alignment, 15% weight, core to mission, high priority. Operational efficiency, 10% weight, major improvement, high priority. Quality enhancement, 10% weight, significant impact, high priority. This systemic approach ensures that available capital is allocated to projects that provide the greatest overall benefits to the laboratory and its patient. Feasibility studies. Before making major investments, conducting a thorough feasibility study is essential. This comprehensive analysis can save your laboratory from costly mistakes and ensure successful project implementation. A feasibility study is a comprehensive analysis that evaluates the practicality, viability, and potential success of a proposed laboratory project or investment. It examines technical, economic, operational, and strategic factors to support decision-making. The purpose of feasibility studies in laboratory management includes risk mitigation before major investments, identifying potential problems before they become expensive realities, objective evaluation of alternative, ensuring you choose the best option among available choices, stakeholder communication and buy-in, providing evidence to support your recommendations, regulatory and accreditation compliance, demonstrating due diligence in decision-making, resource allocation optimization, ensuring efficient use of limited resources. 4 key areas to evaluate. A comprehensive feasibility study examines 4 critical areas. Number 1, technical feasibility. Can we make it work? Ask yourself these questions. Do we have the right skills and equipment needed for this project? Will it integrate with our current laboratory systems? Is the technology proven and reliable? For example, if you are considering adding PCR testing to a basic laboratory, current situation, simple blood test only. So the challenge, need trained staff, proper ventilations, and quality controls. Number 2, economic feasibility. Will it make financial sense? Conduct a simple cost-benefit analysis by considering cost to consider equipment purchase, monthly supplies, staff training, and facility upgrades. Benefits to calculate, revenue from new tests, money saved from not outsourcing, and faster results for patients. Example numbers: initial cost 600,000, annual profit 170,000, payback time 3.5 years. Operational feasibility. Can our staff handle it? Key questions include: how will daily work routine change? Do staff have time for additional tasks? Will patient turnaround time improve? What training is needed for successful implementation? Number 4, strategic feasibility. Does it fit our goals? Consider whether the project matches the hospital's mission and values, helps compete with other healthcare providers, is sustainable long-term, or improve patients' care quality. Simple 4-step process. Here's practical approach to conducting feasibility studies. Step 1. Define the project. What exactly do you want to achieve? Be specific about goals, scope, and expected outcomes. Step number 2. Gather information, research costs, alternative, and requirements. Collect data from vendors, industry publications, and peer institutions. Step number 3. Compare alternative. Look at different ways to achieve your goal. Consider various equipment options, implementation approaches, and financial methods. Step number 4. Make recommendation. Decide yes or no and create an action plan. Provide clear rationale for your decision and outline next step. So the bottom line is, a feasibility study answers one fundamental question. Should we do this project? And if so, how? The study provides the evidence and analysis needed to make informed decisions and gain stakeholder support for your recommendations. Risk analysis. Risk management is perhaps one of the most critical aspects of laboratory economics that is often overlooked until problems occur. Let me explain why risk analysis should be at the forefront of your financial planning. Risk analysis is the systematic process of identifying, assessing, and managing potential threats that could negatively impact laboratory operations, financial performance, or strategic objectives. Why is risk analysis so critical for laboratory managers? Let me outline 5 key reasons. It protects patient safety and care quality, the primary mission of any healthcare laboratory. It safeguards financial investments and sustainability, protecting the resources entrusted to your management. It ensures regulatory compliance and accreditation, avoiding costly violation, and maintaining operating licenses. It supports strategic decision-making, providing information needed for informed choices. It builds organizational resilience, preparing your laboratory to withstand unexpected challenges. There are 4 main types of risk. Let me walk you through the 4 main categories of risk that laboratories face. Number 1, financial risk. This directly impacts your laboratory's economic viability. Revenue problems can severely impact operations. Insurance companies reducing reimbursement rates for laboratory tests, decrease patients' volumes leading to fewer tests performed, equipment breakdowns requiring expensive repairs or replacements, supply costs increasing due to inflation or supply chain disruptions. Real example, COVID-19 impact. During the pandemic, many laboratories experienced routine tests dropping 40 to 60% as patients avoided healthcare facilities, need to purchase expensive COVID testing equipment quickly, supply shortages that made everything cost significantly more. This demonstrates how external events can rapidly transform a laboratory's financial position. Number 2, daily operation risk. This affects your laboratory's ability to function effectively. Equipment and quality issues. Critical machines break down during peak testing periods. Test results being inaccurate due to calibration problems. Samples becoming contaminated, requiring expensive retesting. Laboratory shutdowns due to safety violations or regulatory non-compliance. Staff problems. Key employees leaving suddenly, taking institutional knowledge with them. Insufficient trained workers to maintain 24 hours operations. Workplace accidents affecting productivity and morale. Loss of critical skills when experienced staff retire. Number 3, technology risk. Modern laboratories depend heavily on complex technology systems. Computer system problems, laboratory computer system crashing, halting all testing. Hackers stealing sensitive patient data, leading to regulatory penalties. Inability to connect the hospital system, disrupting patient care. Technology becoming outdated and no longer supported by vendors. Data issues, patient information being accidentally disclosed, violating privacy laws. Incorrect results being sent to doctors due to system errors, and important data being lost due to inadequate backup systems. Number 4, business strategy risk. This affects your laboratory long-term competitiveness. Market changes, new competitors opening nearby and taking away business. New technology making your current tests obsolete. Government changing testing regulations or reimbursement policies. Insurance companies changing payment policies or requirements. Key takeaway, every laboratory faces risk that could cost money, hurt patient safety, damage reputations, or even force closure. The solution is to identify risk early and have backup plans ready. Laboratory risk assessment process. Now, let me guide you through a practical, step-by-step approach to conducting risk assessment in your laboratory. Step 1. Find your risk. Start with a SWOT analysis to understand what's good and bad about your laboratory. Strength, what you do well, means good equipment that's well maintained, skilled and experienced staff, strong quality control programs, and good relationship with clinicians. Weakness, what needs improvement, aging equipment approaching end of useful life, manual processes that could be automated, staff shortages in critical areas, and limited financial reserves. Opportunities, what could help you grow, new tests that could be offered, partnership with other healthcare providers, technology upgrades that improve efficiency, and expanded service hours. Threats, what could hurt you, budgets cut from hospital administration, increased competition from reference laboratories, and regulatory changes requiring expensive compliance measures. Step 2. Score your risk. Use a simple risk scoring system based on two factors: how likely and how bad. How likely, 1 to 5 scale. 1 means very unlikely, less than 5% chance. 3, maybe 20 to 50% chance. 5, very likely, more than 80% chance. Okay, how bad? 1 to 5 scale. 1 means minor problem. For example, under 5,000 ringgit impact. 3, moderate problem. For example, 25,000 to 100,000 ringgit impact. 5, major disaster. For example, over 500,000 impact. Okay, risk score is equal to likely times bad. These are some examples of risk assessment. Step 3. Handle your risk. There are 4 ways to deal with risk. Number 1, avoid it. Don't engage in risky activities. For example, don't offer complex testing without proper training. Number 2, reduce it. Make risk less likely or less harmful. For example, implement preventive maintenance programs. Number 3, transfer it. Get insurance or make someone else responsible. For example, purchase equipment service contracts. Number 4, accept it. Live with small risks but have backup plans. For example, accept minor supply fluctuations but maintain adequate inventory. Step number 4, watch your money. Implement simple financial control. Compare monthly budget versus actual spending to identify variances early. Track cash flow and payment timing to ensure adequate liquidity. Control who can approve purchase to prevent unauthorized spending. Lastly, monitor supply costs and usage pattern to identify waste or theft. Bottom line, risk management equals being prepared for problems before they happen. Follow this step. List what could go wrong in your laboratory. Decide which problems are the biggest threats to operations. Make plans to prevent or handle them effectively. And check regularly and update plans as conditions change. As a conclusion, laboratory economics is essential for modern healthcare professionals who must balance clinical excellence with smart financial management. These days, when laboratory professionals could focus solely on the technical aspect of testing are long gone. Today's healthcare environment demands professionals who understand both the science and the business of laboratory medicine. As future laboratory leaders, you need to understand budgeting, capital investments, feasibility studies, and risk management to make decisions that improve patient care while keeping operations sustainable. These skills are not optional, they are essential for success in modern laboratory management. Thank you.